feel like there's a difference between a show and an event. And I wish that bands stopped fucking playing shows and started playing events. What happens with events is that they take off work when they have a show. They go in together, they pack up the shit together, they go in a van together, and if you don't have a van, you all caravan together all the way down to the show. You promote 2 months in advance. Keep telling people this is super, super important to you. Come out to this night. You need to come out because my life is all happening this night. This is what I worked at. You go to the show, you talk to every single band, you exchange CDs, you meet fans or people who don't know you, you talk to them and say, hey, I'm in a band, you should check us out and stick around. And then you fucking play and you put on the best goddamn show you possibly can. You walk off stage, you say, hey, thank you so much for having us. We had a great night. Thank you for putting this out. And the booker says, we're going to do that again. We love you. Come back again. And that is an event. And that separates from a local band to a band that's playing all over the nation. And if bands figured that out, if they did that, they decided stop playing shows and played events, that's when they'll start becoming successful.
How many times that we've met industry people, I don't really listen to music, I just look at, is this selling? And it's like, you know what, dude, why do I give a shit about how much you like my music when Media Man Dan likes my music and loves the style that we're doing and just loves music? Like in all honesty, you loving our music and buying our merchandise and going to our shows should and does mean so much more to me than Joe Smith, the vice president of Atlantic Records, who doesn't listen to anything that we do, doesn't listen to music in general, and just sees dollar signs. What do we do music for, man? Is it for Joe Smith or for Media Man Dan, who just went through interviews that I haven't heard about in literally since the Reagan era and Reagan presidency, and it's like, look at what you've done here. I'm like, wow, seriously, man, that inspires me more than anything, and I really appreciate that.
You're listening to the Media Man Dan podcast, promoting people with passion all over the globe. Interviews every weekend. Album reactions every month. This is your host, Media Man Dan. Let's rock! What's up, guys, and welcome to the Media Man Dan podcast. It is so great to have you guys here for an incredible guest. This man is the reason for the season when it comes to local legends, and this is Ryan Argast of the incredible band Marina City. I have never gone out of my way to see a band 2 times that I had never seen once in my life, and this band changed history for me. I absolutely love this band. I love their sound. I love their style. They're bringing back things that your parents love, that your grandparents love, and that you love. So please check out all their stuff in the description right down below. I promise it will be completely worth it to go and purchase something as awesome as this shirt or this shirt. And I want to thank Ryan Argast for giving me his time today and being on the show. Ryan, it is so great to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Wow, what a intro that was. That's amazing. And you got right off the noggin. That was crazy. That's awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I am so glad to have you here. This is an honor to have someone that is as awesome as you. You've been on so many different podcasts, and so many great people have given you a chance to show your talent, both in the voice category as well as the just inspiring category. You're a motivational speaker without even realizing it. As I was telling him in the pre-chat, he should write books because he knows how to say things correctly, and we need more educated people out there. Also, we had some different topics in the pre-chat as well, so go and check out the Patreon in the description right down below. Ryan, my first question for you: Marina City has been going for quite a long time. The lineup has changed so much. What the hell happened to the original music?
Oh, the hard topics right away.
Yep.
So Marina City has been going on for a very long time. And we've changed. So when I started the band, I was 18 years old, or I was actually 17. I was turning 18, and now I'm 32 years old. And we've had different members of the band. We've had different ideas of what the band should sound like. We've had different ideas of what the band should look like, and different ideas of what the band should feel like, and everything else under the sun. And for the band to progress the way that we want it to progress now, and for industry to see the band where we want the band to see now, where new fans like yourself find us and what we want you to know about the band now, we had to make difficult decisions on where some of the music can be found. We didn't want to go, hey, this is the kind of band we are, and then someone goes, oh, let me go check out that music. Like, that's not at all what you're kind of claiming to be. And then you got to go, well, actually, we've been around since before you were born, and sometimes the industry doesn't like anything that's been around that's old. They like something new and exciting. So it's sometimes easier to be like, hey, this is what we're focused on. This is who we are now. And then those fans that have found us now or love us from the beginning, you can go on Bandcamp, you can go check out all of our music there. You can buy some CDs off of our web store and stuff like that. It's always there. The old Marina City is always part of us. But this is what we're doing now, and this is who we are now. And anyone that's finding us now would see who we want to be at this moment and forward.
Love it, love it, love it. My thing is I collect discographies, so I now have to go on Bandcamp, just like you guys need to, and go and check out all their old stuff. The only reason I even said anything about it is because one of the songs played at the end of one of your podcasts, and it was probably like 10 years ago or so. And I was like, holy shit, this is cool.
Please stop the music, I swear I might lose it. Gun to my head and I promise I'll use it. Said it once, said it twice, say it once again.
Falling up and breaking down.
That's it. Loved it. The first time I heard it, that was brought to you by incredible Face in the Crowd podcast. Thank you for interviewing Marina City probably like 12 years ago. Exactly 12 years ago. Holy shit. What a guest. Wow. That was so good. Awesome. I was like, even back then, I felt like the same vibe I saw when you guys were performing on stage. And when my mom and I saw you for the first time, I took her there for the Stephen Stanley show over in West Chicago. And it was for Mother's Day. I was doing like this early Mother's Day celebration. I was like, oh, Christian artist is coming. There's no bands that are going to swear in the opening act. Like, that would be ridiculous at a Christian show to have a band that swears. And then you guys and the band before you both swore. And I was like, oh, man.
Did we swear, really?
Yeah. You have one song. I think you said shit or fuck. And I was like, okay, whatever. But when you came out in your awesome wardrobe, which, by the way, you said that you've been dressed for a long time. Like, someone is your stylist now. Like, you have this whole fashion world that you didn't know you were part of in one of your podcasts. I was like, this makes so much sense. You look incredible. And I was like, Mom, I have no idea what we're in for. This could be a disco show. This could be a rock show. I did not expect anything heavy. And then you gave me all of it. And I was like, I'm in love with this band. That was why I was so in shock. I was like, can I even walk up? It feels like what they say in church when they're like, am I even allowed to go up to the Lord's sandals? Am I able to have him in my house? Am I able to walk up to Ryan, our guest of Marina City, and have eye contact with this gentleman? He is an incredible vocalist and an incredible frontman.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Of course, man. Of course. And yeah, you have incredible stage presence overall. How long have you been dancing? That's what I want to know.
I typically tell people that I've been dancing and singing as early as I can walk and talk. And my daughter, she's only 19 months old, and she's doing the same exact thing right now. And sometimes when I see her, I'm just like, wow, that's literally what I know. I know that's what I was doing. So it's really funny.
When she gets older, you got to have her on stage, and you guys can go both do that spin together where you push out your arms. And I love that spin. That's one of my favorites. That's why when I saw you guys the second time, I was like, I have to record him so that everyone knows how cool his spin is.
Actually, I didn't even know I had a signature spin, but I appreciate it.
Like a spinning top. One of those like fairy toys from when we were kids,
Yeah.
Oh man, good times. So let's see. So your music has been going on for quite a long time. Like you said, you're shooting for a current image, but you can find all the older stuff on Bandcamp. The next image that we have is already given to us on the special merchandise order, which is Stay by Marina City. I'm so excited. And I also really appreciate the heartfelt message. This is something that bands need to do more often, because this will give you a better impression of who they are as people, as well as just musicians that kick ass on stage. And I love that you guys are amazing in studio as well. It's very hard for me to say this, but like, when I go and see a band live, I expect them to be a little less than, but you guys are even better live. Like, I am so impressed.
I would say that that is our bread and butter live, and it's something that we're really focusing on how to channel that into the studio versus the other way that I think that people do. So I really appreciate you saying that. So Stay actually is an acoustic EP that you can actually listen to right now on anywhere that you listen to music, and it's a reimagined EP of some older classics that people have always asked to bring back, and then a new song called Stay, which is also on our EP called Reflections, which is what we've been kind of promoting a lot about. And the next thing is actually going to be Reflections Volume 2, which we're going to release in the top of 2026.
Awesome. Well, there we go. Well, there goes my one question of what's your goal before 2026. Apparently, it's to get this EP completed and out for everyone to jam to.
Actually, to tell you the truth, the EP is already done. What it's actually our goal for 2026 is to finish our full length. Is what we're doing. So we've been talking about this a little bit, and this may be the first time we're talking about an interview. Reflections Volume 1, Reflections Volume 2. They'll be connected, and then it'll be a third volume, which is going to be both the EPs plus new music to round out our first and debut full length we've ever recorded and released. And it'll have a special title that I'll hold that for a little bit. But then once the title comes out, you'll realize all of this makes a lot more sense, from what we wear to what we've been releasing to everything. And I'm really excited to have that all come together as one.
Great, man. And I can tell you, like, a loaded God complex. It's hard to say words, right? By the way, thank you for putting that in there, because that's from Fall Out Boy. Sugar We're Going Down, when we didn't know what they were saying, like.
So it's actually funny you say that. So it's titled A Loaded Guilt Complex.
Oh, that's it. My mindset is God complex.
But it's it's specifically about that line that that Fall Out Boy says in Sugar We're Going Down, A Loaded God Complex. The reason why it's titled that, I lost my job in December of 2023, and it was a very scary situation, because up until I got the phone call on Christmas, at a Christmas party in 2023, I didn't think I was losing my job. Like, that wasn't a thing. My daughter was going to be born in a couple months. I had healthcare, had it all, had the salary, everything was rocking and rolling from there. And then I get a phone call that a lot of stuff went down behind the scenes that I wasn't really familiar with, and it just completely ended it all. There was a lot of people that were involved in the fall of the company and the fall of what I was trying to accomplish at the time, that they felt like they had this like God complex, that they knew what was right or wrong. And sometimes what's right for one person could be wrong for the other person, not by opinions, but sometimes when they say someone's trash is someone else's treasure, and sometimes someone else's treasure ends up being someone else's like thorn or knife that stabs someone in the back. So there were people who were doing things for themselves that were ruining it for other people. So when people have this God complex, I'm so much better than this, it was hurting other people's future. And so in this song where we say I'm not dead yet, it was a song that felt like it really mentally screwed me up, where I was really afraid of what I was going to be as a father. This was a job that I thought I was going to have for the rest of my life. This is what I was going to retire with. And then when that was ripped away from me, and then other people on the side of the fence going like, this is a good thing that it was ripped away from you, blah, blah. It was really tough for me to feel like, where do I go next? Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to provide? And so I looked towards music, and now I'm a full-time musician. I've been a full-time musician from there. I've been doing really well with it. We have food on the table. My daughter knows nothing but her father being a musician. It's been awesome, and it's been this rise of myself again. But I felt guilty about the situation. I felt that people who had this God complex maybe felt guilty about the situation later. And that guilt is something that made me rise up and go, no. Like, I'm going to use this setback as an accomplishment. The only time that you can fail is after death. And I'm not dead yet. I still have time to get back to where I need to go. So, a loaded guilt complex is a play on words of the loaded God complex terminology. And yeah,
I love that I accidentally made an entire story out of that. I did not know that, and I'm so happy that I did. I heard the story many times live now because you do share it about
yeah,
losing your job, changing your lifestyle, and creating this full on passion for the music that you guys are putting together. And you've always had the passion for it, but now going full time as a musician, like you said, that's all your daughter knows you as. That's one of the most impressive things that anyone can accomplish because these days people are told constantly, you want to be a what? Oh,
yeah,
might as well just throw your bank account into the toilet because you got no money left. Like, that's how it always looks. But in this case, I mean, you are not only a vocal prodigy, you were said and on a couple other podcasts, like that you were supposed to be like the next Bieber. Like, a lot of
yeah,
people had that kind of like image for you. And I'm really happy you didn't because you have this sound that's not going to fit in one category. You have so many things about you that is versatile, and your band is versatile. And the guys that couldn't make it, because I only talk to Ryan right now,
yeah.
Eric is incredible. Toter's
Thank,
incredible.
yeah, they are.
You guys are amazing.
Thank,
And you know, I am a big fan of vocalists because I am a singer myself. I'm not like perfect by any means, but I love singing and I love singing along. And I am planning on doing a cover of one of your songs. I do want to do
oh,
Runaways because I
oh
am
yeah,
obsessed with that song.
yay.
But like the thing that you guys do as a band is like you have an impressive three piece and it all works together and you don't really, I know you might use a little bit of track, but you don't really need it. Like your sound is just so mesmerizing and fun and your entertaining stage presence just brings it all together. As a band, what do you guys think of yourselves? You probably are a little bit more critical because you're like, I could have done that better, but I honestly think you guys are perfect, and I know that's a high
Thank you.
ego praise.
Yeah, we definitely don't think we're perfect, but I do think that because we're not perfect, um, sometimes a strength. And doing music for a long period of time, um, you talk to a lot of industry professionals, and every industry professional has an opinion on what they think you should do as a band. And we can go on hours about some stories that I have about some really massive producers and artists who gave their opinion to what we should be. Um, and then we listened. We're like, oh, well, if we want success, we should go this way. We should go this way. And then it kind of convoluted a little bit of what our main goal was or who we were as people. And I think that's why I'm really proud of the new music that we've been releasing, because it's really been the three of us just like in a room writing these songs and showing off our opinions of the world and of our lives and what we want our music to be. And so, what we think of ourselves, we constantly think of ourselves as an unfinished product. And because we're an unfinished product, we are able to explore worlds and genres and ideas that maybe a finished product couldn't do. And some of that gets us in trouble where like industry's like, I don't know what you guys are. I don't know what box I should put you in. And then they'll also talk about like how artists should not be in a box. Um, we are just like we're I feel like right now we're in the most like untoxic era of Marina City in our lives right now. We're just like we're writing what we feel is really cool with no expectations, but what we think is really awesome. And we've been fortunate enough to have Media Man Dan and others that have just like attached themselves to this music and go like, oh, maybe there's something here that people just want to hear something different and new and exciting and also something familiar at times and just what Marina City is. So
Yes.
to answer your question, we're unfinished product that is excited to explore different things the way that we want to explore them.
Love it. I also love that you hinted at bashing the music industry, which you did in another podcast. The hypocrisy of the music industry is crazy because you can
Yeah,
always look at, like you just said, where they ask you, what is it going to be that makes you stand out? But they also are like, but you have to fit in this small box that everyone else is part of. Like,
yeah,
why is it that way? That should not be how music is. Music is an art and it's a version of expressing yourself. And if you express yourself on an angry day, angry, And on a sad day, sad, it's never going to be like too exciting. There's really not much the music can do. But when people take something that's sad and sound really happy, like I don't know, Dashboard Confessional, is that the one? No,
Yeah.
Death Cab for Cutie. They take
Yep.
these super deep, super sad lyrics and make it sound like the greatest day of their lives. And it's like your brain is just like asking why and how and who else
Yeah.
does this. Like it's just so off and different. And I feel like if you guys did a reggae song, it would be one of those moments where I would also be like really influenced to be like, can other bands pull this off? There's a metal band I've been obsessed with this year that includes saxophone solos and saxophone in general. And I'm just like, bro, how
Bill
was a
Murray.
metal band with saxophone not a thing before? Like what?
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for the new and exciting, and I can just see that you guys have this spirit on stage as well as in the studio, and you put it all together into a perfect package. Even though you're not a perfect package yet, you guys
Yeah.
know what you want to be, and you're going to go through many different phases. And who did
Yeah.
that? That is one of the most famous bands in the entire world, Linkin Park. Linkin
Yeah.
Park never stuck to one sound, and look how successful they were. Look how much hate they got every time they dropped a new album. But then
Yeah.
after that, the nuance would be like, well, actually, it wasn't that bad. It was not as bad as this
Yeah.
new thing.
In hindsight, right? Yeah, I mean, like the bands that I'm the most like inspired by have been the 1975, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance. You just said Linkin Park, the Queens, and I just named 5 bands. What do all 5 bands have in common? They have a large variety of music that they release. I love when someone says, "What's your favorite band in the whole world?" It's such a difficult thing for me to say. And when someone says, "What are you listening to right now?" It's such a difficult thing for me to say too, because I love music for music, and like it's literally I like everything that sounds good to me. My favorite baseball team is Cubs, and I'll die on anything that they do. But other than that, there's no favorite team here. Just like with politics and everything else, there's like I love this music right now, and I'm really into this music right now. And then now I'm really into this music. I'm fortunate enough that I have a outlet such as Marina City that allows me to explore all those styles that I really enjoy, and I have the best friends in the world, and best musicians in the world to be able to do that with. And we've been doing this for a long time. That, yeah, we are completely independent, and we would love to be signed, and we would love to be have a management and booking agent, and that would be really nice. It would be really really helpful. But I'm just at this point where I'm like I'm just happy of doing what I'm doing, and if they're into it, then great. And I'm tired of having to appease the people who typically don't even listen to music. Like how many times that we've met industry people, I don't really listen to music. I just look at, is this selling? And it's like, you know what, dude, why do I give a shit about how much you like my music when Media Man Dan likes my music and loves the style that we're doing and just loves music? Like in all honesty, you loving our music and buying our merchandise and going to our shows should and does mean so much more to me than Joe Smith, the vice president of Atlantic Records, who doesn't listen to anything that we do, doesn't listen to music in general, and just sees dollar signs. But the problem is that so many times do I get in this like headspace of like, am I good enough? Am I a good enough musician? Are we a good enough band? Because Joe Smith, the vice president of Atlantic Records or BMG, hasn't really found our music yet. What do we do music for, man? Is it for Joe Smith or for Media Man Dan, who like just went through interviews that I haven't heard about in literally since the Reagan era and Reagan presidency, like, and it's like, huh, look at what you've done here. I'm like, wow, like seriously, man, that inspires me more than anything, and I really appreciate that.
Of course, man. And as the most common clip that I've seen recently, don't love your job, job you're no, I'm just kidding. But it is something where you have to really put your passion in to help other people find their passion or to promote their passion. Like
Yeah.
my whole thing of promotion, that's my passion. Like that's what
Yeah.
I do. I put people like you on so that you can tell your story, so you can have your side. And the reason that I care so much to go back into your history is because I need to know who you are or where you've been or what you've gone through and hear each phase. Like we all have different phases throughout our lives, just like you have different phases that you listen to music. We can't stick to one specific thing and be like, oh, that's them. They've always been that way. If I
Right.
found out somebody had some serious dirt on them, I'm probably not going to have them on the show.
Right.
But if they,
Right.
console and talk about these things and then they say that was an old part of me and I've now become a better person, I'm always like, hey, second chances. This is huge. And, you've always been a good guy. You've always been honest. And that's what I really love is like you're an honest, passionate person and you stick to what you say. We'll go back into that deeper stuff in a moment, but I do want to say this. You talked about being a Cubs fan a couple weeks ago. An absolutely life-changing experience happened where you were able to sing the national anthem at the wild card game. How was that, my friend?
There's so much about me, about with the Cubs and my family, to get to the point where you're singing the national anthem at Wrigley Field with my grandfather's jersey on, who passed away and didn't get a chance to see them win in 2016. It's just like one of those things where it's like out of body experience. I've been really fortunate that music has given me opportunities and moments in my life that feel like a superpower. Earlier, you were like, when someone says, I want to be a musician, they go, why don't you just empty out your bank account, which is true. But I think typically when someone says, I want to be a musician, the first thing that someone says back to them is that that's impossible to be Taylor Swift. And like literally, there's only one Taylor Swift. Do you know that there's only in the history of music, only one billionaire that has done it all through music, and that name is Taylor Swift. Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, never billionaires, and never all through music, acting through maybe some kind of like alcohol that they had, whatever, not through music. So yeah, the chances of doing all this through music is extremely impossible because one person has done it. But being successful in music, does that mean that you have to be Taylor Swift? This is something that gets convoluted all the time. There is not just the starving artist and then Taylor Swift. There's all the people in the middle, the working class musician that you can strive for and you can be. I have been really fortunate that I've been doing music for a very long time, professionally for a very long time, now only professionally, but for a very long time, that I don't have a mansion. I don't travel the world yet. I don't have a mansion yet. I don't live in LA yet. Yet you're watching me talk to you in my studio upstairs. You'll hear running feet because that's my daughter. I have a wife. I have a dog. We live in a beautiful home, and it's all because of music. And that shouldn't be unsuccessful. Well, how much money do you have to make to be successful in music? Because as a teacher, you can make $60,000 and you're a successful teacher. If you're a plumber, you can make, I don't know, $80,000 a year and you're successful. Can you do that as a musician, or do you have to be a billionaire to do that? And there's just this idea that musicians have to be super rich and famous to make. You know how many times I get told, when you make it, Ryan, don't forget about me. Or when you're famous, like I'll be here. Fuck you. Okay. I'm doing it right now and you're not here.
Yes.
Like, what this is happening right now. So all those people that are out there that want to be musicians, they'll be like, one day when I grow up, I want to be a musician. I'm going to ask them, are you writing music right now? Yes. Are you playing music right now? Yes. Well, then you're a fucking musician. Stop saying that you're not a musician until you're older and making $1 billion. You're that now. Media Man Dan podcast, you're a podcaster. You're not when you grow up, you want to be a podcaster. Not when you grow up, you want to be a promoter. You are doing those things right now. Just because you don't have $1 billion right now, maybe you do actually, I don't know. But just because you don't doesn't mean you are not those things.
Yes, it's so true. The amount of success does not come with the amount of money.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I talk about this. I've had this. I'm sure you've heard this in a podcast. I talk about Sean Lennon, John Lennon's son. Okay, that dude has millions and millions of dollars, but the one thing he really wants is people to listen to his music. I don't know a Sean Lennon fan, and this is not. And he shouldn't catch any strays. I'm sure he writes good music, but what I'm saying here is that money doesn't make you successful.
Nope.
Money doesn't make you happy. So when Sean Lennon has all the money in the world, but all he really wants is people to listen to his music, and not enough people are listening to his music, do you think that he's super happy that he's got all the money in the world that his dad got him? And no, again, it's not disrespect for him. Maybe he is happy. I have no idea. But it's the idea that money doesn't equate happiness. Connecting to people with the art that you make, you'll find a lot of happiness in that.
Yes. One thing I will say motivationally is that if you lose the drive, you'll never be satisfied.
I love that. I love
You'll
that.
never be satisfied unless you're constantly working. That's the thing you need to have. If you're constantly striving to do better for yourself, that's the only way you're ever going to succeed in your life. In your lifestyle, you need to make sure that you're doing new things, because there's no way to sit in one spot and be like, I'm satisfied. This is all I needed. I've made it. There's nothing more for me to do in my life. That's ridiculous, especially if you're young. Taylor Swift is still in her 30s. Do you think she's over? Hell no. She's still dropping albums. Not the best albums, but still dropping albums. Hey, you know, the fans even
I
agree.
talk about that. I talk about that too. Like, why does someone like Taylor Swift still release albums? Why does she still go on tour? You have accomplished everything that you can possibly accomplish as a musician. You have numerous, actually the most album of the years of any other artist. You are a billionaire. You have the most successful tour of all time. Yet you're going to go on tour again. Yet you're going to release another album again. And the reason why I bring that up is because I want everyone to remember that your goalpost keeps getting pushed back further and further. What you have today is something that you wanted a year ago or 2 years ago. And today, just because you don't have the thing that you want right now, doesn't mean you'll ever get there. Just because you're not where you want to be in 10 years doesn't mean that you're not successful now. And all I wanted when I was a kid was like, I want to get music on the radio. I got music on the radio. I want to sell at a show. We sold at a show. I want to do this. We did that. But then in the moment, I keep thinking, am I not big enough? Am I not great enough? And the reason why is because my goalpost keeps getting pushed back further and further of what I want to accomplish. I accomplish it, and then I want to get to the next thing. And because I'm in the middle of it, I don't think that I'm successful, and it's really sad. So I'm not saying that Taylor Swift doesn't think that she's successful. What I'm telling you right now is that even when you get to the level of Taylor Swift and you go, all I want is to have 4 album of the years, you're still going to strive to get the 5th album of the year. And that's kind of sad in one sense that you'll never be satisfied, but it's also something that I hope that you take as something to know that even the people, your heroes, are still striving to be better and to do more, and they're not satisfied even when they're super successful. So you are super successful. You are successful. You've done everything that you wanted to do. Do not think for 1 minute that you haven't done those things. You've already done it. The only reason why you don't feel like you're super successful is because now you have new goals, new hunger for new things.
Yes.
So go strive for that, and you'll get them just like you've done before.
It's a stepping stone situation.
Yeah.
Every single part of your life, even at the youngest of ages, is a stepping stone in the right direction. My parents raised me on 60s, 70s, and 80s music. I had to step away from that. That was a stepping stone. I needed to find something that was modern. I had to find Kiss FM or Britney Spears or NSYNC, and eventually I ended up on Eminem. Eminem inspired me. That was the next stepping stone in my life of music. I needed to have my eyes open to the idea that we can use explicit lyrics, and even though I went to church and was very Christian and Catholic, I could actually partake in listening to this and a critical mindset, but also really take in the message of the music. It helped me educate myself on things, and I learned more about Eminem than most people on the planet. But I loved it, and that's what really built the idea to shoot into the YouTube category, then shoot into the podcast category. And that's why I say I'm not stopping anytime soon, but I'm really loving each conversation that I'm getting, because I'm gathering more information, not only about my guests, but about myself, of how I'm doing things. And I really appreciate you. Like you said, man, I'm already there, even though I might not feel like a big podcaster because the numbers aren't lining up or the money's not flowing. It's still something that I'm really passionate about, and I'm going to keep driving towards the ultimate goal, which is, of course, to have as many people as I can with different stories and different points of view come together and say, hey, that guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
And
makes
you're doing it,
sense. And I also want to
You're doing
have
it.
open conversation like we did beforehand. Once again, if you guys wanted to see the pre-chat, it's a very long one, but it is very, very good. And we had a lot of deep topics that we discussed. We will not go into those, but I will say that Ryan is an absolutely opinionated person, and he is one of the most based people if you follow political jargon. And I love that he is as honest as he is. How did you grow the balls to be as honest as you are on the internet in the age of cancel culture, in the age of hurting people's feelings and these sissies that literally only hide behind keyboards?
It's not easy. And to be honest with you, I don't think that a year ago I would even say some of the things that I've said. But it's come to a point where it feels like we really lost the script on what's important to everybody. We've really lost the script on being kind to people. And I think that I will never insult you. I will never make fun of you and make you feel lesser. I just hope that right now in a time period where we're really in a dark, segregated feeling between everybody, that I can at least share a different perspective and maybe question why are we doing this? Why do you feel that way? Well, this is maybe explain it a little bit better than an insult. And if we don't do that, if we don't speak up now, I feel like it's only going to get darker. And so for whatever reason, this is not. I'm scared shitless that when I say things, because like I said, like my family doesn't really align with the beliefs that I have, and I love them dearly. And sometimes when I speak out, I'm afraid of what that backlash will be internally. But unfortunately, we're in a really bad situation right now that we do need to talk about these things a little bit more openly, in a more calm, a little bit more sensible situation, and in hopes that we don't have this pot boil over even further than it has.
100%. I agree on that. I hate to do the, generic 100% response, but that is exactly how I feel. I feel like it is time for us to stand for what we believe is right. It's not like you have to pick one side or the other and stand by that, but actually believe in your heart what you're saying and try to hear the other side out. Say, okay, I see where you're coming from, but have you ever thought this way about it?
Yeah.
Have you ever held somebody accountable that maybe you're supposed to agree with because it's part of your party, but instead in this case you're saying, there's just a lot of red flags I'm seeing and I feel like we're going the wrong direction. It's simple as that, just that little bit of a seed of hope that we can plant in every single person that we meet. And even when you are online, I promise you, it will not hurt you if you get off the internet. This is the most important thing. If you feel like somebody is really getting under your skin and that you have to respond and you have to send like millions of comments back and forth, go outside, go talk to someone else.
You're absolutely right.
Talk to a friend, somebody that you agree
Go
with all the time.
grass.
Go listen to Marina City. Go buy some merchandise. It makes you feel good. My final question for this chat, which is going to finish very shortly, is why is the logo backwards? And if I may, this is my assumption. It's because he wants all of you guys to go with your friends and take selfies in front of the mirror so that you guys can prove that you're true fans of the band, because there's only one way to see the logo, and that's if you're looking in a mirror.
You're very, very close. The EPs are called reflections, and this is when you look in the mirror, the reflections of that.
The man in the mirror.
Man in the mirror as well. Yeah. The EP being called reflections. A lot of our songs are internal reflections, true stories about our lives, not just about me, but like all three of us, and reflecting on situations that maybe we could have done better at. Maybe we didn't see in hindsight, and with the logo being backwards, it looks correct when you look in a mirror.
I love it. I am so happy that I got pretty close to that. That is insane. That was literally, I was thinking, I was like, for promotional quality, everyone should get a shirt and then go to the mirror and then look at it. But I love that that actually does work within the EP. Once again, Reflections will be coming out sometime in 2026, which is
Yep.
crazy because 2025 doesn't even feel like it's over yet.
Yep.
Really, really happy that you were here with me, though. Ryan, our guest, is an absolute legend, a local legend, and Marina City is one of the best local legends you will ever find in the Chicagoland area. They are Chicago. They play aggressive pop rock. Yes, that's a thing. They're the ones that made it, and I absolutely love this band. So I hope that you guys did too. When you hear these conversations and you say, hey, maybe this is something I want to share to somebody, share it. Don't even think about it. Just hit that share button. Send it to everybody that you know, especially if you're in Chicagoland, because they need more fans at their shows. I was at the House of Blues. We could have sold that place out. We should have sold that place out because that was incredible. Traffic sucked. That was one of the worst days because that was one of the first No Kings.
The No Kings protest was happening that day. It was a Tuesday. It was I think it was like the tickets were like $40. We knew that was going to be a tough one to do, but we have one coming up top of the year that's going to be really exciting and going to be a lot easier to make happen. So we're excited for you guys.
So excited for you as well, sir. Thank you so much for joining me. This was an incredible conversation. As always, if you guys love what you see and you want to share it with other people, check the description right down below. All the links will be down there for the incredible man that we have here right now, Ryan, our guest, as well as Toter and Eric, and of course the band's information in general. I am so excited to have them on sometime next year to talk about the new EP. I will be reacting to the new EP, no question about that, because I want to react to only the best independent artists moving forward after this year ends. That's about it. Ryan, anything else before we go?
I just want to thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. Your energy is infectious, and I wish you the best in everything that you do, whether it's the podcast, just in life in general. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was truly from the heart because this man means everything he says. He's one of the best people to listen to. Check out all of his podcast episodes, too. I have a playlist that I'll make public on YouTube. And other than that, you guys know how this goes. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day and stay safe out there. Peace.